Mike. Let's draw with Mr. Mike. D-R-A-W with M-R-M-I-K-E.
We are gonna draw a car today, everybody. Are you so excited? This is an interesting looking car, isn't it? This is the headlight. Here is the wheel. There's another wheel over here. This is the door and the exhaust. These, I don't have a label for them, but these are the bumpers here. These are the windows. These are the windows. So we are going to learn how to draw this today. We're going to use these shapes and lines. Okay, we have a scribble, we have an arc, a line, a triangle, a circle, and an oval. We haven't used ovals yet. We're going to use ovals today. It's a very small piece of the car, but we're going to use it because I realized that we need to introduce ovals into our toolbox of shapes and lines. So let's get our art materials, everyone. Now, as you know, I like to invite anyone to use art materials that they're comfortable with. But you should always try new art materials because you may find something you like better than things that you've been using. So today I'm going to use this marker, my trusty marker, so it's nice and easy for you to see what I'm drawing. But you could use a paint stick, you could use crayon, you could use an oil pastel, you could use these neat gel crayons, you could use, I think I said paint stick? Did I say paint stick? I'm going to say it again because these are really fun to use. Maybe I didn't say it. I don't know. It's early. It's early here. It's a beautiful day out. Let's get started drawing our car. Now we can have a lot of fun with this car. Let's start drawing the car and then let's see what we can make around it and all the different designs that we could do on the car. But first thing we got to do is we got to draw the car, of course. So I'm going to put my reference drawing over here so I can see what goes where and to make sure I build the car the right way. We wouldn't want the wheels on top of the car now, would we? That wouldn't do much good. We want the wheels on the bottom of the car so they can actually make the car go. So let's draw the ground, the road, and it's going to be a straight line across, all the way across the paper. And now we have something for our car to roll on. And speaking of rolling, let's draw a circle next. A circle right about here. Right here. And the circle will go right here. Now, here is the fun part of drawing a car. Another circle we're going to put right here. I want to say this before I get too far with drawing the circles. You can drastically change. That means you can change your drawing a whole bunch just by making different size tires. So if you make your wheels, your tires, really big, that's going to look different. If you make them really small, your car is going to look different. Just by this one piece, you're going to have a completely different looking car. So I'm going to make mine this size, okay? And I'm going to put another little circle in the middle, just like that. Now, above that circle, I'm going to make an arc, like that. This is the wheel well. Okay, this is the area that allows the tire to spin around and around and around and around without touching the car. Okay, now we're going to draw a line here across and then another line that's going to connect here. And we'll do that all the way across just like that. Okay, and then we'll draw another line right here. Okay. So, it looks like we've got the bottom of the car, and we're going to draw the top part now. So we'll start at the front, and we will draw an arc, like that. Okay? And then we'll draw a line going across, like this, and then stop. Next, we are going to do another line, but it's going to go up at an angle. This is the windshield. It goes up here, like that. Next, we're going to draw another line, and that will be not very long, probably about as long as the windshield. It'll stop right there. Okay? Now, from here to here, we're going to make an arc. So you go like this, and you just curve your line down to that line down here. Just join that together. You make a corner. Okay? Next, in the front, we're going to put on the bumper, which is another arc, just like that. And then another arc will be the headlight, like that. Then on the back of the car, we'll make another bumper. This is the rear bumper. That will go here. Okay, next we're going to use that triangle. Okay, and the triangle is going to go right here. This is going to be that front little window area right here. Some cars have them, some cars don't. It's right there. This car has one. And then we're going to make a, did I say a square? I didn't say a square. Well, we can use line to create this, and we'll do it this way. We're going to join the window with the door. We are going to do a line here, and then a line here. And then we'll do two more lines across, like this. Now you'll see what I'm talking about, because I didn't have, you'll see here, I didn't have square on our shape and line list when we started, but that's okay because we can use line to do this. And really we have two either rectangles or squares here when we end up with it, but we're just using lines. And actually this right here looks like a big H. Look at that. It's a big H. And we just put a little hat on it at the top. So this is the window and this is the door. And remember that oval I mentioned? We're going to put a little oval right here, and that is the door handle. So in the back, we're going to make that rear window, and that will be a line, and then another line to make a corner, and then we're going to join these two lines here with an arc, and that will go like that. That's pretty much it. We're almost done. We're going to add in another arc down here with a line, and then another line at the top there, and then we'll join it with another line just like that, and that'll be the exhaust pipe. And here's where we can make our sound effect. We can make our scribble sound effect. And this is the car zooming away. And if you want, since this is a pretty fast car, we can make some speed lines. If you use a line, you can have coming off the car like this. You can do lines to make it look like the car is going that way. All right. Now I am going. You'll see in my sample drawing here, we had someone driving the car, but I'm going to leave that up to you. You can decide who will drive your car. I'm just going to draw in a line here for the steering wheel that's behind this area, so you don't see the whole thing. And then I'm going to, let's see, what would I not expect to draw, not expect to drive a car. I could put what don't I expect to draw a car, but we're going to have somebody driving the car. So I would not expect let's see, a bird to be driving a car. So I'm going to draw a circle, and another circle for an eye, and then a triangle for a beak, and then another circle for a head, and then another, maybe this is a line with some other lines here for the wings. And then you can put a line here for the body, and then you can make two arcs here. You can use ovals, or you can use two arcs facing each other for feathers at the top. And I would not expect a bird to be driving a car. That is for sure. All right, so remember when I said at the beginning, before we started, I said that we were going to use our imagination and come up with a whole scene for our car to be driving through. So now that we've seen what the car looks like and we know that the car is driving on a road, let's use our imaginations and figure out, well, if a bird is driving a car, where would this car be driving? Where do birds like to build their nests? Let's think about that. Where do birds like to build their nests? I think birds usually build nests in trees. Sometimes they build them in trees. A lot of times they build them in trees. So what if a bird was driving a car on a tree branch? That could happen in our imagination. So to make that work, we just have to make this look like a tree branch with a line here, and then another line here, and then maybe a line here, and then come down like this, and this could be a tree branch. And then we can make another tree branch here. See, I'm just using lines to create branches, and then when we color it in, I can put some leaves here, just using arcs and V's. Some arcs, maybe another arc here, make a leaf, and then another arc here. Two arcs facing each other is a great way to make a leaf. Okay. So when we color this in, this is really going to look like a whole scene of a bird driving a car on a tree limb, which kind of reminds me, I think I know where I got this idea. I think it was subliminally in my head. I think Steve Light just came out with a book, A Tale from Whisker Hollow's, a Whisker Hollow's Tale. And I think there are little animals, or I think there's insects or animals that are driving on a tree. I may have pulled that from my mind. I think I saw that. I love Steve Light's work, so I could see being inspired by him very easily. So a Whisker Hollow's Tale. So you should check out that book. Let's color in our car. What color should we use for the car? I think I've already decided a color in my head. I think I want to use orange. But I want to test my orange color because I really want to use this gel crayon. But the case of this gel crayon looks very, very bright. And I'm not sure I want my orange to be this bright. So if you want to test a color before you put it on your drawing, I recommend getting another piece of paper, a scrap piece of paper if you have it, and just testing out that color. Now I can see that this is very different. So I know that this is the color orange that I want to use, but it looks very different than the case that it's in. This case looks almost fluorescent, but the color that it makes on the paper is not fluorescent. So I do want to use this color. So I'm going to use this orange gel crayon, and color in my car. And you can test your colors too. You can just get a scrap piece of paper, and if you're not sure what color you're going to get when you put that on your paper and you want it to be a certain color, you just test that color out on another sheet of paper. And then you'll know. That happens a lot with markers too, where you're using a marker and the marker winds up being darker than what you would expect. So then you should just test it out. Test it out and see. Okay, so I have my orange car, and now what color tires does our car have? I think they're blue. I think they may be blue tires. So let's color these in. I'm just doing circles, coloring in circles for my tires. Just like this, around in circles like that. You can go back and forth, you can go in different directions. It's however you want to color it in. And I just happen to color it in using circles. Now I'm going to color in my branches. Now we're going to really feel like this car is driving on a branch once I color in my branches. I'm going to use that gel crayon, but I'm going to use the brown. Now it's going to start feeling, their drawing is going to start feeling a little different. There we go. Now we see our branch. There we go. We've got our branches, and now I'm going to use green for the leaves. So I'm going to use this green color and color in these leaves. More up at the top here. And you don't have to use the same green. You can use different colored greens if you want. I may even go back in over top of these leaves with a different colored green just to see what that does. So I'm going to use this darker green, and I'm just going to put a line here. Just like that. And color in half if you want. You do half of it one green and half of it the other. That's fun. There we go. Now I am going to color in the sky. And like I tested, now remember that this blue color was the same color as the tire. So I'm not going to use this colored blue because this is too dark for what I want. But I do know that my paint stick blue is a lighter blue, and I'll show you that. I'll test it right here. This is a lighter blue, so I'm going to use this blue for the sky. So let's color that in, and again, just as a reminder, just color. Just fill in your color. Scribbles, straight lines, zigzags, however you feel comfortable drawing. You can push hard, you can push light. You get different reactions from the art material you're using by how hard you push on the paper. If you push really hard, you fill in all the color into the paper. You push the material into the paper. If you do it very light, it just sits on top. So if I want to have it just look like there's almost like smoke coming off the back here, I might do it real light to get that white color. And then darker, just past it, to make it look like the sky. And you gotta make sure to color underneath here because we'd see a little bit of the sky underneath. Oh. And then here's that smoke coming out of the back. I wonder where this bird learned how to drive and why it prefers to drive rather than fly. I'm curious. I would like to know more about this bird. So let's see. Now, would we see? I'm curious if we would see through the window to the other side of the car. Now, I think there would be a window on either side of the car, so we'd probably be able to see the sky all the way through the car. So let's do that all the way through. Okay, and then the last, oh, well, we got a couple more things to do. We can make, let's see, I'm going to make my headlight yellow just to make it stand out more. And the bumper, I'm going to make, I did have a silver, oh, here it is, my oil pastel. I'm going to make this silver. There we go, and I'll even make the exhaust pipe. I'll make this silver too. And I'll use a light gray crayon to do just a little bit of the smoke. You can barely see that, but it's there. You can barely see it. And now all we have left to do is color in our bird, which I believe I want to stand out very much. So I'm going to test this color. I want this to, maybe it's either going to be, let's compare our colors. Let's see. Let's get our test paper out again. I'm going to try this pink, or test this red. I think it might be the red. Let's see. I think I'm going to use the red. There we go. And then we can make the beak and make that yellow. And there you have it, everybody. Oh, I did it wrong again. Again! Every time. So here we have our card that we drew together today. And you can see a little bird driving a car on a tree branch. And that, my friends, is, let's use our imagination and think of different things that could drive in a car that you wouldn't expect, and where that car would drive. And let's think a few things right now. Like, let's say it's a toothbrush. A toothbrush is driving a car. Where is that toothbrush driving? That's for you to answer. I'm not going to tell you. Let's use your imagination, and you come up with an interesting place for a toothbrush to drive a car. What if it was a potato? A potato was driving a car. Where would that potato be driving its car? And what would the whole environment of that is around the potato, what would that look like? I'm going to let you figure that out. I can think of a few things, but I want you to figure that out. And I'm going to give you one more unexpected example of something that could be driving a car. What if it was an adjustable wrench? An adjustable wrench was driving a car. Where would that car be? Where would the adjustable wrench be driving? I'm thinking of lots of stories now for these very unexpected objects driving cars. And that will also change the size of the car and the look of the car. So let's use our imagination. Let's make up our own cars and think of what is driving them. And I would love to see pictures of your artwork. You can send them to me. You can visit my website at drawwithmrmike.com. And there's an email address on there for you to take a picture of your drawing, send it to me, and we can put it up behind me in my backdrop. Or we can share it on social media. I would love to see the amazing things that you create. Thank you so much for drawing our car today. Look, I did it on the right side this time. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.